Hello everyone, this is Slacker, and welcome to another vlog, I guess. I didn't actually write down a script or like guidelines or anything, so forgive me if I stumble upon my words. This is gonna be more so live and stuff. But yeah, this is, I guess, sort of like the first of my vlog series. I don't know if I'm actually gonna give it a name or anything. I might just stick with the whole vlog and then slash. Not the regular slash, but like the up and down bar. I think there's a name for it, but I forget what it's called. Yeah. So earlier today, I was driving home from school, and it was very frustrating. I legitimately got upset because driving through the snow is so difficult, especially when you have a vehicle that doesn't have very good brakes. So yeah, the steering, I couldn't steer while braking, so there was one point where I like crashed into a bridge. It wasn't serious or anything. Like I was worried that it might have dented the truck a little bit, but it didn't dent anything, so. Yeah, it was good to find that out, at least, but it's so frustrating just driving, because, like, you don't have any control when you're stuck, just sliding across, and you're just going forward or going off into a direction. Usually I go to my right. I think the camera flips when I'm recording. I forget, if it does that or not. But yeah, I was driving to my right, and it was so frustrating. Like, I legitimately got angry and yelled in the car and stuff. Nobody else was in it. Nobody was really around to hear it, so it's not like anyone knew. So when you're angry and nobody's around, and nobody can hear you, you yell. That's how it works, and yeah, I haven't gotten that angry, like, at all this year. So, yeah, that's frustrating. And it's kind of what motivated me to do this vlog, because, like, I was just feeling a lot of negative emotions, and maybe if I just talked it out a little bit through a vlog, it would help me. So yeah, other than that, started working on the 4K Q&A. I wanted to get a lot more done than I actually did, but that was because I spent so much time on specific questions because they were, like, really detailed. I mean, they could have been simple. I could have just, like for example, one of the questions was, what are my top 10 favorite ponies? And I could have just given a list, just a straight up list of my top 10 favorite ponies, but instead I went into a lot more detail. I'm putting a lot more effort into this, so, like, when you get the list of the top 10 favorite ponies, you're gonna get, like, graphics and everything. I had clips of the characters showing, so I had to overlay the footage. I scripted it too, so I was talking through my Yeti and giving out, like, I was actually saying what was on there, so I had to do multiple takes and cut audio in different places, and I had background music on top of that to make it sound nicer. I'm pretty much just going for quality, and that's the biggest reason why it's taking so long, because I'm putting so much effort into it. I'm probably putting more effort into it than necessary. I mean, heck, I could just pump out a vlog answering all the questions, and most people would be satisfied with it, but I'm trying to challenge myself. I'm trying to challenge myself and put more work into the 4K Q&A, so I don't have that many questions answered. I've got a few, but they're only a few. Like, I'm not even close to being halfway through it, and I spent, like, days working on this thing, so yeah. You thought a PMV would take a while. Well, this been taking me a long while, and yeah. But yeah, a lot of the questions are detailed like that, or if it's a funny question, then I'll make it like a skit. And yeah, just think of it as like either a bunch of skits or detailed analysis videos, almost, kind of. Each one of the questions feels like its own video, pretty much. With the exception for probably a few short answers, where it'll just be like a couple seconds worth. But even then, I'm still putting some effort into it. And yeah, it's just... I don't have the time to work on it constantly, and I don't have the motivation to just work on that one thing, so... yeah. But it did help me that I pumped out another Pony Shenanigans reaction instead of a regular episode of this react. Just because the regular episodes, like the marathons, they take so much more time to edit and upload and render. Yeah. So not looking forward to that. I also have a lot of schoolwork. Schoolwork's been piling up on me. That's another thing that's been adding to my stress. I'm a procrastinator, and well, I was gonna procrastinate anyway, so might as well get a vlog out. Cause let's face it, right now I've got Dashy Games open and his video Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I mean, geez, the game came out yesterday. It seems like the Five Nights at Freddy's games come out when I have the most schoolwork to do. It's frustrating. It's very inconvenient timing. I'm not gonna play the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 game like I was before. Just like with the first two, even though I uploaded just one video for both of them, it's just I'm not that confident as a Let's Player. I'm not. My screen capture isn't very good. I'm running on a pretty crappy laptop, so I just don't feel it makes a good video. And there's a lot of basic, yeah, I'd say professionals that do it just fine, like Dashy, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even Max, Luigi Kid, those guys. There's so many different people uploading gameplay videos of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Like, if you check my PyDisliker subscription list, it's almost half of the subscriptions, which is ridiculous. I'm even starting to get sick of it myself, so that's when you know that you're not gonna upload it. Let's see here. But yeah, there were some other things that I wanted to talk about aside from just that. And geez, I've already hit 8 minutes. That's crazy. But I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about YouTube networks a little bit. I'll talk about that. Yeah, so my perception of YouTube networks have changed over time a little bit. I thought of it because I was checking the PyDisliker Swagger channel, and I found out that I actually got like a random message by some Russian YouTube network who didn't even like give me broken English. They just typed the whole thing in Russian, assuming that I'd read it. But all I needed to know was that it was. I mean, when you see like a wall of text in your YouTube inbox and you upload videos, that's usually a sign that it's from a YouTube network. And man, some of these YouTube networks are just so untrustworthy. It's ridiculous. And to think that they message my side channel like this, my 100 subscriber channel, it's weird. I mean, yeah, I've gotten messages for my 5,000 subscriber channel. It's near 5,000. It's 4,000, 5,000. It's like 4,700. And I mean, I kind of expected that because that channel's got a lot more views, it's got a lot more potential. But it seems like these channels are just networks are grabbing up any channel they can get their hands on, which is a little frustrating, a little disheartening to see that, because, it makes you kind of realize that these networks don't really care about you. They're just trying to get whoever they can get because they want their share of YouTube money. And that's frustrating. Also, I've seen a lot of sketchy things from YouTube networks, and honestly, I don't think I'm gonna join one. I don't plan on it. The only realistic benefit I can see from joining a YouTube network is copyright protection. And even then, I don't think it's that much. I don't think it'll help that much. It might help you a little bit, especially if you're a smaller channel, because, you know, then you don't have to, like, go through directly to YouTube and send them 50 emails saying, like, hey, my channel got taken down for improper, like, copyright notification or whatever. And I mean, even though I've seen most channels come back if they fight it, those are the big channels. So I haven't seen, like, a small channel get taken down, except for Arisbolt, but she just made a new channel out of it. Which I wouldn't do. I would fight the system, to be honest. I mean, I'd probably upload videos to this channel because I also made it as my backup channel, but I would fight the system and I would try to get my channel back as hard as I could. I wouldn't make a replacement unless it's been like a year or something. I was just like, okay, fine, let's just do this. Or maybe I'd just build up this channel and re-upload a bunch of stuff to here. I don't know. Come to think of it, I really should have like a backup for all of my videos, but I just don't like have the hard drive space for it. If I got like an external hard drive, maybe I could back up all my videos. That would take a lot of downloading, which would be really painful, but it might be worth it in the end. I've gotten a lot of copyright claims too. I don't have any strikes on my account, but I got a lot of claims, so a lot of third-party monetization. The majority of that is from music, from like the music networks, programs, something like that. I forget what it's called, but I know Warner Music Company. No. Warner something. SME, Sony Music Entertainment, Universal Music Group, UMG, and WMG Warner Music Group. Those three are the worst. They are the worst. Sometimes I'll get called for a Japanese song, which is totally different. I know that the anime community is just... they've got a lot more trouble on YouTube because I think generally in Japan they're harsher on copyright than they are in the US, but even in the US it's pretty difficult. You're lucky if they don't block your channel. I mean, not your channel, your video worldwide. And yeah, I completely understand why people are just so over the fence over copyright, because I've been there. And I'm not even making any money off of YouTube. If I wanted to make money, I'd make a Patreon. I think it's that simple. I don't think I can realistically make money the current state my channel is at, view wise. It just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem like I can do that. Give me a second. I'm about to plug in my phone a little bit because my phone is at 10%. My apologies if that's like really noisy or whatever. I'm trying my best. My phone automatically shuts the camera off when it reaches 5%, so it showed me the 10% warning. So I'm like, I'm gonna plug it in until I finish this vlog. But yeah, it's very unsettling to hear about all the copyright situations. And I mean, YouTube doesn't really care. YouTube's making money off you anyway, regardless if it's a third-party ad or your monetized ad. And I think just the biggest thing that worries me about Patreon is the fact that YouTube might ask for a cut from it. Like how they've been asking for a cut from the regular the sponsored ads inside of a video. So if you say are sponsoring Dollar Shave Club in your video, then you're kind of YouTube's gonna take about half of that. about half of the money. And YouTube can do pretty much whatever they want because it's their website. It's not illegal for them to do that. They're in full control. And you pretty much have to put up with YouTube's rules, and that's very frustrating. It's very, very nerve-wracking. So I don't plan on making money off of YouTube. Just got interrupted there. Anyway, yeah. Making money off YouTube is very, very difficult, especially with like the whole ad revenue thing. It's been decreasing. So if your views stay stagnant and you don't grow as a channel, then you're gonna be losing revenue, just because like year after year, ads are worth less when you make less money from ads on YouTube. So it's not something that will reliably happen, at least the way that it's going right now. It's not looking good. So yeah, I think Patreon would be the best option, but even then, I know there's a lot of difficulty with making money from YouTube. Especially Patreon has its own problems too. I mean, Patreon, first off, they take 10%, which is pretty okay. I mean, YouTube takes like 45% from all the ad revenue anyway. And Patreon doesn't always pay out the payments too, because sometimes people's credit cards cancel the payment or whatever. So it can show that you're getting like X per video or X per month, and really you're getting Y. Numbers wise, it's completely different and much less than it looks. So Patreon can be very misleading. Yeah, and I know that there's a stigma about e-begging and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I really don't care. I think that there's more good to be done from it than bad. I mean, if people want to give money, people want to give money. I don't have an issue with it. Regardless of what content you make, if people are willing to pay for it, hey, that's their money. You know, you could just be making drawings of sandwiches, and people want to pay for your drawing of a sandwich, even if it's not good, even if it's just like a simple drawing of a sandwich that doesn't even look like a sandwich, but they want to pay for it. Hey, it's their money. It's a free country, at least in the United States. I don't know in North Korea what would happen. But yeah, back on the YouTube networks though, I know a lot of people join YouTube networks, and I don't see the reason. The only reason would be copyright, because copyright's very difficult and it could get you out of the situation. It could help you. I'm sure that YouTube representatives are more likely to talk to the MCN people than you, but it's still very difficult. And not all networks give good support. I mean, if you join Freedom, if you join Curse, if you join MTX Network, those are the only networks that I would recommend that you join, because they have no-lock contracts, which is very, very, very helpful. I think that should be for every single network, but there's networks that book you for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. There's networks that just straight up refuse to let people go, and your channel's stuck with them forever, like Machinima. Machinima's so bad. So there's definitely more bad networks than there are good networks. And even then, there might be, like, I'm not sure about other YouTube networks like Social Blade and Frederator. Really not sure about those. I mean, they seem like they're 2-year contracts, so that's pretty frustrating in its own right. But hey, maybe they have good support. Maybe they have a decent CPM. I still don't recommend it unless it's a no lock-in contract, because a lot can happen in 2 years. A lot can happen in 1 year. And a lot changes in that time span, so probably shouldn't do it. Yeah, and like every other month I seem to be getting a message by a YouTube network, and sometimes it's not even in English, and it's aggravating, it's frustrating, and it just makes me, like, every single message I get just makes me trust the networks less. Like, I got a message from Quiz Group, and they're Russian, but it was very broken English, and they said like 80% revenue share or something like that. But like, I've known about Quiz Group before being sketchy and refusing to release people. And it's weird, you know. You see these networks like Quiz Group and Zoom and TV that message you, and they are incredibly sketchy. And you know, they're just trying to make money off you, and not really give you any support. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna tough it out as a free agent, and if copyright gets to me, that it gets to me. But I do have an audience behind me to help spread the word if something bad happens to my channel. You know, I'm just hoping that my channel grows, so that way, in case, like, I don't even care that much about popularity. I just want the protection that comes with higher channels. That's all I really care about. Just the copyright protection. Not so much protection from copyright, but protection from channel takedowns. If, you know, I mean, would Digi's channel have been brought back if he didn't have such a big channel? The same goes for Mr. Enter, for Dr. Wolf, those guys. We don't know. We wouldn't know. I mean, what if they had 100 subscribers? It's very, very iffy. And frustrating. And on top of that, there's other types of ways you can monetize your channel. Not just through ads or Patreon, or even like straight up donations. I know YouTube has a donation button thing, which YouTube still takes a cut from that, so yeah, I wouldn't add one of those there. It just doesn't seem worth it. But on top of that, there's also t-shirts, and not just t-shirts, but merchandising your channel can work, I guess. But I think it really depends on your demographic, because there's a lot of young people that watch channels that are minors, that are, you know, under 18, and they can't buy anything. I mean, it can work. I've seen a lot of channels that push forth with it, but it wouldn't be a reliable first source of income. That would either come from the ads or a Patreon or something like that. But I guess it could be extra. I heard that Give and Take was selling shirts, and it didn't work out for him, and he had to sell, like, I don't know, 30 shirts in order to receive any money at all. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna stop selling shirts when I hit 30, because this is a headache, and I just want to get some money out of it. And yeah, that's just very disappointing to hear stuff like that. Like, you need to sell X amount of shirts in order to make any money. So yeah, I'm probably gonna get like some sort of graphic design job, maybe a video. Maybe, if I'm lucky, a job that works with video, marketing, advertising. I chose a pretty general major to work with, so I think I'll have a lot of job options hopefully I'll have a lot of job options when I come out. I'm trying to learn as many skills as possible. Like, recently I learned web design, and now I'm learning a little bit of animation, and learning more about video in general, because I'm just fascinated by it. And I've already built a lot of skills in the graphic design department, so maybe I should build up more skills in the video production department. Even though I've been doing the YouTube channel, there's still a lot of other things that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know specific things about lighting. Like, there's, like, 3-point lighting and stuff like that. That's stuff that I've learned more about. And I would really enjoy, like, being a professional video maker, even if it's, like, for some other company. You know, like, if I was to work with PBS and I worked with them on one of their YouTube channels, that would be incredible to me. That would just blow my mind. Or if it was for television or something. But I know that the job market's limited, so if I have to work with graphic design, if I have to make posters, if I have to make web advertisements and stuff like that, or work on a website, I can probably do that too. So yeah, I'm trying to expand my skills in every single department, so that way I'll be covered, hopefully. It's a frightening thought. It really is, because you don't know what the job market's like, and you hear about the economy, like, going south, and that machines are replacing us. I saw, like, a marketing advertisement that was like $5 and they'll give you a logo, and I was like, what? I mean, like, logos take so much time to develop. They can't just... That sounds impossible to me. Like, you pay $5 for a logo, pay $5 for voiceover, and yet I'm seeing commissions that go for, like, so much more than that. I mean, it just blows my mind that these companies can pay so little money to people. I don't understand how that's even feasible. Like, how can you make a logo for someone for $5? Well, you certainly can't live off $5, that's for sure. And, wow. That was not good news when I heard it. Because I was like, if that catches on, I'm out of a job opportunity right there, you know? Because I could be making logos for people. That's one of the things I learned how to do. So, yeah, very frustrating. Very, very nerve-wracking. I first off decided that I'm not going to get a job that I don't care about. I wanted to get a job where I have some level of passion that I somewhat care about. You know, I'm still very unsure if everything's going to go smooth. I don't know what it's going to be like after I get out of college. It's very nerve-wracking, very unsettling. But yeah, so yeah, I don't plan on doing YouTube as a full-time job. Say my channel takes off, I get like 1 million subscribers, and I'm not doing reaction videos, I'm doing my own thing, and I can reliably get out like at least a video a week, then we're talking a potential lifestyle made from YouTube, because of, you know, making YouTube my job. That's the only way I really see it happening. I mean, even through Patreon, I realistically could make it my job if I hit like 100,000 subscribers. Honestly, I don't care about the ads. The ads, they just seem so... I don't know. But maybe it's just me. I mean, I haven't been monetizing my reactions, so I don't know how much money I'd actually been making off of them. I know there's some sort of formula that you could generalize for it, but still, it's just... I don't know. It's so unpredictable, so I wouldn't try and get into it. Because having YouTube as your boss just does not sound pretty at all. I mean, a single copyright claim from Viacom could take you down. It's just, it's really all that simple. YouTube doesn't care enough about its employees. And the technical employees, yeah, they might care about them, but they don't care so much about the content creators. I mean, they thrive off the content creators, but if someone goes away, there's gonna be a new guy to replace them. That's how it works. Sad truths sometimes, and you just gotta put up with whatever BS YouTube gives you. So yeah, I know this vlog was a little bit depressing, but hopefully it gave you a little bit more insight from a content creator's perspective. Don't join the YouTube network. I don't recommend it. I mean, if you have to, join one that has a no lock-in contract, but even then, it's still kind of iffy. I especially heard that after Alex Side got a contract with Freedom, he only got paid for like on a month basis, and so he'd have to wait a whole month before he got another check. And I think it was like from a couple months back too. It wasn't even like the previous month. I think it was like 2-3 months back, something like that. That was when he was like having his own financial trouble. So yeah, hopefully next time I can talk about something that's a little more uplifting. But it did feel good to get those words off my chest, and it's certainly better talking about that stuff than talking about what's going on outside in the winter. It's all nasty. It's not pretty. Yeah. If there's any Californians listening to this, you're lucky. You're lucky there's no snow. Alright. I thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for listening to my little spiel. And I hope to see you in a future video. As always, vlog suggestions will be considered. Ultimately, it will be my decision, but if you give suggestions and I like it, I might talk about it. I know there were some suggestions earlier, but there were just none that I was really interested in rambling about for like 30 minutes. Anyway, I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video. Peace out.